Corey Gorechrist here at Dienecologgy podcast. I am here with Shane of Cognitive. Excited to have you, man. It's our first video guest, so that's cool. How we doing, man?
Oh, thanks a lot for having me, man. And doing great, doing great. Just had to relearn how to use Zoom real quick.
Yeah, it's been a minute for me too. I've had a few months off of doing podcasts and stuff, so came up with this new concept here. So it's good to have you.
Hell yeah, welcome back.
And really, before we get into everything, well, the main focus of this podcast, talk a little bit about Cognitive. You got a new release coming out. I believe it's May 17th, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right. So just real quick, I guess, talk a little bit about the album and what Cognitive's been cooking up for us.
Alrighty. Well, the new record is done, obviously, and it's by far, like, in my opinion anyway, the best music that we've done so far. Like, I thought that we'd like crush it with the last record, but now, like, yeah, that we gave 110% on this one. Like, this is the record. If you don't like this one, you don't like us, and that's fine, because this is the sound. But yeah, it's unrelenting. There's a lot more like melodic elements too. Like, there's a lot of like good song structure there. Like, we actually sat down and wrote songs instead of being like, this riff sounds sick.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like this one. Let's link it up with this one. Like how every band starts.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I got the chance to listen to Abhorrence, and man, it's killer, man. It's definitely your best work, and
Thanks,
always
man.
been a big fan of the band, and you guys have progressed a lot over the years. But yeah, this definitely is the one by far. If you're a Cognitive fan or not, if you jump in on this record, you won't be disappointed. So yeah,
Love that.
Solid job on that.
These the only thing that we did was these songs are all very hard to play.
Yeah.
So it's like that, like, we did a bunch of like, oh well, at least I did anyway. I can't speak for the rest of the guys. Just a bunch of stuff of like, oh yeah, that sounds cool. Put it on the record. And now I'm doing the songs live. I'm just like, shit, I gotta figure that out. It's going well so far, but it's just like, oh man, this is like, I gotta become like the tea drinking guy. And like, it's like, I gotta take care of my voice, because like, if I do this incorrectly, it's gonna sound like dog shit, man.
Yeah. I've done the same thing in bands. Like, go to the studio, come up with new shit sometimes too, you don't expect, and then when you're done, you're like, how am I gonna like do that live, like these patterns, and without just being exhausted.
There's something so fun about just like throwing that stuff together into the studio.
Yeah.
Just a total mistake makes it on the final mix, and you're just like, I didn't do it on purpose in the first place.
Yeah.
How are we gonna replicate that? Well, fuck it, it's figured out.
Yeah, some of my best patterns I ever recorded were off time mistakes, and then I'm like, that actually sounds better.
It's like, you linked up with the China on the accents on that. It's like, oh shit, did I?
Do I have like an ability, or am I just lucky? That's how I feel.
It can be both.
Yeah. People are like, oh man, it's just the screaming shit, and it's like, okay, well, there's a science to it and methods to it, talent to it.
Got the Master Chief helmet in the back. Got the cat in the back. Like, we're gonna be good friends.
Yeah, it's an OG Master Chief helmet. I had to wait in line for quite a while at the midnight release of Halo 3 to get that thing. So
hell yeah,
it's a relic in time, and it's held up.
I manage a retro video game store, so like,
nice.
I love seeing this kind of shit out in the wild.
Yeah, I got the you can't really see it, but I have like the Marcus Phoenix thing from Gears 3, the statue, and I got the
that's sick.
I got the Halo Reach statue with all the the team and all that too. So I got a bunch of shit I can't put anywhere. Let's see if I got a little baby Cabal in Mortal Kombat. Look at it.
Oh, yo,
I don't even know how I found it. Oh, that's
Scorpion
sick.
bobblehead.
Yeah. I think it was at like Toys R Us, and I was like, how do they have a baby Cabal? I want
That's so
it.
good.
Because they don't make shit of him like ever. He's my favorite character.
Oh,
So
so you're like anybody who's all right. This is feel free to cut this out, whatever.
no, we're good.
It's like anybody that's like actually good at Mortal Kombat loves Cabal. So
Yeah.
like game
He was the
recognizes game.
first OP character that like a lot of people don't know, but that's why they made Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Not just to
Yeah,
add
the
extra
balance patch.
characters, they had to balance Cabal because he was broken as fuck in the
And he
original
was
Mortal
still
Kombat.
the best.
Yeah. Yeah, you get it.
It's
You
like-
can still cheese him. I never did that, but you put him in the tornado move, and then you can do the little saw blade, the floor saw blade,
Yeah.
and then you can like throw him up like with the hooks and catch him, and you can do like the combo. Like if you do all that, you can't even be touched. Like it's so
It's
crazy.
absolutely crazy. But yeah,
So
like,
anyway,
Sub-Zero was broken in
Yeah.
MK3, but like
Absolutely.
UMK3, like Cabal is number one. And
Yeah.
the only time that he was like only mid
hmm
was it was either Deception or Armageddon. I don't remember which one.
Yeah, I think it was Deception because I didn't really
Like,
use him as much. On that one.
MK9, absolute undisputed top tier.
Yeah, back to being OG Cabal. But yeah, we'll do you have any plans
Anyway.
for Cognitive after this record? Touring, stuff like that. Got some shows lined up.
We got the at the album release show in it's June. I should know this. I should know this off the top of my head. I usually like have notes with important dates and stuff like that, but I don't. Not this time. And my memory's shot because we're gonna be going to Europe in a couple days.
Nice, man.
Uh
Doing some touring there, just hitting up some festivals.
oh yeah, we're doing like I think like 20 days over there.
hmm
Lot of German dates. So if you listen to
Nice.
Cognitive and you're in Germany, swing by.
Hell yeah.
Hey, here we go. Yeah, it is June 8th. Why did I second guess myself?
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it's at
Day. Hell yeah.
the warehouse on Watts in Philly. That's gonna be
Sick.
the album release.
hmm
And then yeah, we're doing the European dates. I'll send you links for all that good stuff.
Perfect. Yeah.
And then after that, I don't know. I can't. I don't have the information on hand, and I can't really talk about what we got going on.
Right.
But it's
Yeah.
sick. Definitely keep an eye out.
Good. Hell yeah. We look forward to that. The record's killer. Can't wait for that to come out so everyone else can hear it. But now that we've got that out of the way,
Plugs going.
get your plugs going all around. I like to do them in the beginning. A lot of people like to save them for the end. I like to get to the, break the
Right.
ice with the record. We're here to promote that, obviously, and promote Cognitive and all you guys, what you guys have going on. But the meat and potatoes, or the blood and guts, if you will, of this podcast, is really just talking about what kind of inspires death metal itself and the lyrics. I'm a writer myself, and
Okay. Hell yeah.
lyrically, where does this stuff come from? Because I think everyone's fascinated with their own mortality and are very interested, at least, even if it scares them to death, and like just not just what we see in movies and the news, but in like real life and our experiences that we've had, dark experiences. And I think that has a lot to do with people like you and I that love death metal and can write within the genre itself. So that's kind of what DIEnecology is all about, is just breaking down like where our influences come from, and not like, I'm a Chris Barnes fan or a George Fisher fan or whatever.
Yeah.
Dave Vincent fan, but like real influence, like from life itself, and like the death around us, and if you've had any experiences with it, and where it really comes from.
Oh, have I ever?
Yeah. So I guess to really start this portion off, just really, have you had experiences with death in your life?
Oh, yes. Very, very much so. When I was like of course every teenager feels bulletproof, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So like I'm just just your average teenager, or I don't know if this is average anymore, but I would just like drink on the weekends, like
Yeah.
party with friends, like occasionally do drugs, this and that. Just kind of experimenting, trying to figure myself out.
Yeah, enjoying life, as they say, you know.
Exactly. I've got a buddy, like my best friend. His name is Dale.
Hmm.
Uh, like he was 19, I was 18. I get a call, like yeah, like right, like only a couple weeks after his 19th birthday, that he had died in his house.
Wow.
So obviously that fucked me up.
And how old were you when that happened?
I was 18.
Wow.
He was 19,
Yeah.
and like I don't know. It was just kind of. I don't think either one of us thought that we were gonna make it to 21, but like it's crazy that he actually didn't.
Yeah.
So it was very much like a. Sorry if you hear my cat. I'm not sure if you can.
Oh, you're good.
But yeah, like that like really it showed me how like fragile everything is,
Yeah.
and like how like you can band together like to like it's hard to put in words. Like
Yeah.
you can really like lean on each other like when
Hmm.
one of your other pillars like absolutely fucking crumbles.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I didn't go to like therapy until like early last year about it, like to
Hmm.
like really try to like sort my broken fucking brain out of
Yeah.
it.
Wow.
So like I remember like just very distinctly like as like his like he died of an overdose, and
Yeah.
for some reason that turned me to drugs.
Yeah.
Like
It's weird how that works, but that's a common thing. Yeah.
yeah, it was I don't know. Like obvious like I don't do anything anymore, but like
Yeah.
at the time I was just like, man, this fucking this Adderall
Yeah.
will make me fucking like I'll never sleep again because I'm living forever. It's like
Right.
like it is just so brain dead.
Yeah.
But like as the coffin is like descending, like I was like the last person to like have my hand on it. Like
Yeah.
I like laid down like in fucking mud to like have that like just to get that last second of like
Yeah.
being with my best friend.
Damn. Well, I appreciate you
And
talking about it. That's harsh, you know.
it's no problem. I mean, that's what we're here for. It's
Yeah.
it, and then like
And
my dad died
mhm.
almost a year ago, like
Wow.
today. Like it's
Damn.
the 29th as of recording, and yeah,
Hmm.
he died on the 30th.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like trying to like I was like I'm a like in like a divorced like family, and like I went with my mom.
Yeah.
Like I like tried to start like I grew up with like very like real issues with this does relate to cognitive. I'm getting to
All
that.
right.
For those of you
No,
that are
no, I
just
mean,
like
this is good.
for
Um,
for the for the guys that are just like, all right, well, yeah, dude.
no, I had a
It,
similar thing too because I went with my mom and all that, and kind of had a
yeah.
on and off relationship with my dad throughout the years, and
Yeah,
that kind of
you
thing.
get it. You're broken too.
Yeah, I've been there. We're here for you right now, though. I don't need to talk about myself.
Gotcha. That's conversation A and B.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, like I was trying to like rekindle my like relationship with him, like
Sure.
even a little bit is like
Hmm.
just something that my like therapist said like
Yeah.
really tried to push me to do. And I like we were gonna play Kansas when we were like out on tour with Psychroptic, Volusia, and Interloper,
Yeah.
and I got sick the day of,
Yeah.
and so I had to turn him away to just be like, hey, like I know your health isn't in like very like good condition, like
Right.
just sit this one out, like I'll like we're always on the road, I'll be back, don't you worry. And sure enough, no, I wasn't back in time. He had died a couple months later.
Mm,
So like right
that's
as we
rough
were
too.
about to just like, man, we're about to talk in person on good terms for the first time in like fucking 20 years.
Yeah.
I got sick and didn't get to see him.
Mm. You don't really
So
have that closure, to be able to just go do that. And
nah. So like
man,
that like in relation to what inspired like that leading to death metal,
yeah,
that whole experience is what track 5 on the record is about, as the light fades.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the only song that like I've written like entirely by myself. Like I like, well, not entirely, we'll get to that. Like I like wrote all the guitars for it. I structured the song. Like I like did drums for it,
yeah,
and then like put like a big fucking like guitar solo thing on the like a space for a guitar solo
right,
at the end, and then my other bandmates just followed me with it and like really brought it to life. Like I brought the skeleton. These
yeah,
guys fleshed it out,
nice.
and yeah, like the chorus has like some of the last lines that I've ever said to him, because
Wow.
like I this the speaking of like trying to relearn Zoom, I haven't like opened up this program in a year
Yeah.
because like I watched him die on Zoom.
Oh shit.
Like I had like he was like he was going in for like for a surgery.
Uh,
uh Complications happened with it because he had like a poor heart and he was just in a coma.
yeah,
So uh like they pretty much like set up a free like Zoom call, just kind of like looking at him, like
yeah,
just like pointed at the camera, like in the hospital room,
yeah.
and they just fucking like yanked the tube out of his throat, and I just pretty much like just watched him convulse like for days. Like it was
Jesus,
like 2 or 3 days of just fucking just struggle to breathe and fucking couldn't.
that's awful.
It was, yeah, like we all said like don't fucking pull the tube like in front of us. Like we just kind of like want to say our piece and go.
Yeah.
But then like I don't know how that got fucked up. But
They did
like,
that on Zoom. You'd have to watch it like over
yeah, and
this.
I, like this happened in Kansas. I'm watching from New Jersey with my mom and
Yeah.
like my two sisters, like my brother that I haven't seen in fucking years. Like my grandma's in from fucking, like she's like on a Zoom call from like Florida. My
Yeah.
other uncle's there. It's like a big watch party for watching my fucking dad die.
Yeah.
it's
Like you
it's like
think, in person is a little more like you're there, whatever. That's
yeah.
like the process. But something about having a Zoom meeting and seeing that, it just makes it even more like just
It,
insane. I don't know.
it was like something about like the low resolution
Yeah,
of
that
like,
yeah, that too. Yeah.
and like we had to keep on because the hospital didn't have a premium Zoom account, so we had to keep on like logging in every like half hour or so. So it's like, oh
uh
well, let's get back to the dad show.
yeah.
Uh,
God, that's awful, man.
I like I try to like joke about it like a little bit just because like that's
You
how I
have
cope.
to.
That's
Yeah.
you
It helps in weird ways.
you gotta laugh because like the alternative is not great.
Yeah. You find ways around it, and with you writing as well, it definitely helps. So really just because your lyrics are pretty fun. You have everything from being you know, I guess like a zombie and eating people to
Yeah.
being straight from hell and just having you know, what's the one where is it malicious thoughts? Where you guys are it's one where a guy's like driving and he's thinking about just like killing people while he's driving
uh,
and then
uh,
comes
uh
out of it. Was
it was Rorschach. It was
yeah.
it was I mean we say he's a fictional character, but it was
Uh-huh.
It was me. I was
Yeah,
having a
Malevolent
really
Thoughts on that. Yeah, on that
oh
record. That was
yeah. Malevolent Thoughts was just fucking like
I love that song because
it's like
he's just
that
like, oh
was
well,
just
now I'm in
about
a car. Like you find out later in the, it's a cool like kind of story because you just
yeah
lyrics go from just the thoughts itself, and then you're like, now I'm in traffic, and
yeah
how did these
it
thoughts
was
come
just
around? And you're like, oh shit, that's cool. Yeah,
it was just like it was just somebody like struggling with like suicidal ideation.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you're on the podcast. Hi, baby.
yeah. We got cats all over the place here.
Shout out to Binky. But
Yeah. What up, Binky?
but yeah, it's just a like I don't know, like that line came from just like me like kind of disassociating at a traffic light, like
Yeah.
in a really fucked up mental place, and then the
Hmm.
dude behind me is just like,
Yeah.
motherfucker, go. And I'm just like, go where? I don't want to be
I don't
alive.
want to be here.
No, I'm
I'm
waiting for the
nowhere right
oncoming
now.
to just kind of like
Yeah.
go to therapy. If you get
Right.
anything from this,
Yes. That's part of this too.
listeners at home,
Therapy really helps with that kind of shit. And you realize like a lot of
if you can
us,
afford it.
a lot of us aren't, there's no mapping for life. People can tell you certain things and certain perspectives, but till you really face things like actual death and loss or even like murder and like shit like that, if you see it's
Yeah,
one thing, you can desensitize yourself pretty early on. But if you actually see it in your own life and it affects the people you love and the people around you that you love, um, you know, you don't realize how much you need therapy to like balance that out a little bit. You just think, oh, this is just the way things are. It's like, but
yeah,
you get professional help, you get some medication going or something. It's, I didn't, there was so many periods in my life where I've experienced that shit, didn't go through any therapy. And then you figure out later through how other people are affected by how you are and you don't realize it. Then,
exactly.
yeah, you got to help yourself. But it's hard.
Lit, little warning sign for anybody at home. If you constantly say it is what it is,
Hmm.
you should
Yeah.
you should talk to a therapist because no, you are minimizing your own struggles, and
Yep.
you deserve to live better.
Yeah. I
I
agree with that.
always close every cognitive set with like, be kind to one another, be kind to
Yeah.
yourselves. We are cognitive. Have a great night.
Fuck yeah.
But like,
And that's good,
it's
because people see on the outside looking in with death metal, like, it's just glorifying violence and all these people are crazy, which, we might be a little
it,
bit, but
like
it's
man,
good to
I don't know
see
what I.
people step out of that and are actually just human too, because, a lot of bands, they put on the persona, which is cool. I dig it. But then it's
Yeah,
good to be like, hey, outside of this, be safe, be good to each other, you
of
know,
course.
do,
Like, I know. I just told y'all to assault one another and made a joke about somebody having dental insurance, but it's like we're having fun, man. Like,
yeah, where else do you get a
don't
release
actually
like
do
that?
that.
You
It's like,
know, where
how about
you
you just
get
like
to,
swing your arms a bunch?
yeah, like where else do we get a release to just start beating the shit out of each other, but pick each other up at the same time and um, laugh about it? It's its own thing, and it's therapy in and of itself. To you guys get a chance to go see Cognitive, and support death metal because it's a cool release if you get into it and get to have conversations like this as well. And you know, so I think our
I,
time's about up here, but I guess in
oh yeah,
closing,
I
I
didn't talk about the
appreciate
record
you.
at all.
Yeah. It's coming out with May 17th on Metal Blade Records.
Yep, it's May 17th.
Abhorrence. And you got hopefully some North American dates coming up.
Oh yeah, we got plenty, but that's unreleased. So
Yep,
keep your eyes out on that one.
for sure.
If you want real information about the record, like just I don't know, feel free to contact me, or like maybe I'll do like a track by track like
Yeah, we can
breakdown
do
of like
that too. Whenever you have more time, we'll do more audio or something. Do a track by
yeah,
track.
absolutely.
Get
That
on
took up 20
Spotify.
minutes talking about fucking Mortal Kombat. Oops.
Oh, that's what we're here for. But yeah, I appreciate you opening up and talking about your stories
Yeah,
very
of course, man.
briefly.
If it like if it helps even one person to just be like, you know what, I have seen some shit and I should get it fucking checked out, then
Yeah.
like we're doing all right here.
Yeah. And hopefully it helps you. And you know,
But
actually
like
I
we're
probably
also like we write about like more like fantasy shit too. So like
yeah.
it's not all just like my dad's died. I'm suicidal kinda. It's all also like, hey man, I wrote this song about vampires. Like this
Yeah.
one's about werewolves. It's like a pact unholy. I was just like, man, I'm gonna write about a warlock pact. Like
Yeah.
a giant D20 back here. Like
Right. Yeah.
we're nerds. We're just
Critical
fucking
Role
horror nerds.
shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, so you get
I mean, come
it.
on. I think we do have like 10 more minutes because I don't have premium either. So right
Ah,
now.
okay.
So I think it's 40 minutes is the limit. So we're on 30. So we should be all right. So
All right.
if you want to keep talking about death, we can, or you want to talk about the record a little bit, with the 10 minutes we got, that's up to you.
Your call. I can do I can talk about like what the songs are about, like generally, or like I
Yeah,
don't
we
know,
can
whatever
do
you want
that.
to
I don't know if
do.
10 minutes would be good enough for a track by track to really get into it, but
Yeah, yeah.
if they're inspired by death, which I'm sure they are, then you can kind of
Oh yeah.
at least go through lyrically a little bit what each song is about and where you got the idea.
All right. So track number one, that was like that was that song is the title track, Abhorrence. That was
Hmm.
written by Rob.
Okay.
So as far as like what it's actually about, uh hard to say.
It's about abhorrence.
Yeah, it's I think it was just Rob had like just dealing with some anxiety and it kind of like spilled out onto paper and it's really sick.
Yeah.
Uh Number two, we got Insidious. That song I wrote about if drug addiction was like a malevolent like parasite, like an actual like conscious entity
Yeah.
that it is like overtaken a host
Mhm.
biologically.
Which you have experience with, and obviously,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've never been like an addict myself. Like
Right.
I've always been more of, I mean, not that I know of. I love caffeine, love nicotine, but like
Sure.
maybe I'm an addict. I don't know. We're figuring that out.
We pick our vices,
Yeah. But yeah, it's like just I've watched like a good amount of people just completely lose themselves, like
Yeah.
sometimes entirely. Like they end
Yep.
up like losing the battle from drug addiction.
Hmm.
But sometimes they come out on the other side. And I tried to end this like the song, it's called Insidious, like kind of on like a hopeful note
Yeah.
of like the parasite fucking losing control of
Yeah.
its
Yeah.
host at the end. Uh, but yeah, that is what covers fucking like it. There's a lot that like inspires us to like write and like express ourselves like via like this very extreme medium.
Sure. Yeah.
But you know what? Nah, those are, and then a pact unholy. I'll just do the three singles. This is at the top of the list. We'll come back for the deep cuts on episode two.
That
Uh,
works.
yeah, Pact Unholy wrote about like this is entirely like I will be 1,000% real with your viewers. I wrote this about a fucking a character concept that I had for a D&D character that I just couldn't make work. And it
Nice.
was such a cool concept that I was just
Yeah.
like, fuck it, it goes on the record. It, it's like a person who's like completely devoted himself to like a blood god, like a blood witch,
Hell yeah.
and performs a ritual like self-sacrifice in order
Hmm.
to try to like prove themselves like worthy
Yeah,
of becoming the vessel for this just god of just I called her the avatar of pain and blood. I think
that's
I don't
sick.
know, it's so edgy. It's like
No, that's
three edgy,
great.
five me.
It's
But
nerdy. I like it.
oh yeah, it's and there's plenty more about that. If you can guess which song is inspired by an indie video game on the record, I will give whoever a high five. And
I
I
thought you
guess I'll
wanted me
give.
to guess it. I'm gonna see.
Oh yeah, if you want to, I would I'd love to hear it.
Just by the title, let's see. Indie video game. Mm, gonna be Containment Breach.
Bingo!
Yeah,
Hell yeah!
yeah.
I had been playing a lot of Carrion,
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hell yeah.
and it was like just kind of like rant, like not directly inspired, like not about the game itself,
Yeah.
but very inspired by that. Just fucking this just Lovecraftian entity that's just
Yeah.
keeps on fucking growing and growing and growing to the point where they're just like, dude, drop the nuke. We got to save the rest of the planet.
It's like Akira, or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hell
Damn,
yeah.
nailed it right on the head. Containment breach. All right, whatever. Still high fives all around.
Yeah. High five, man. Hell yeah. Um,
Oh,
but yeah, I love the D&D shit. And that too, like I feel like D&D is introduced so early. And I remember, I wasn't around for a satanic panic. I was born in
yeah,
1990, but that was like people saying that, oh, metal and D&D are making people Satanists and all this stuff. But like I feel like I just grew up and already liked nerd shit. Like I kind of
yeah,
introduced myself to that. But there's so much like death and violence in that, but it makes it doesn't glorify, but it makes it awesome, if that makes sense. Like and
exactly. It's just
I feel like those mediums make death itself when you get older like easier to cope with because you're
yeah,
like
because like you could like lean into the fucking like maybe there is something after death.
yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't personally think so, but like
Mm,
maybe that'd be sick.
yeah.
I love being wrong, but
But we deal with death in our own way. Everybody has their own vessels for that, like for coping, and or a lot of people don't. And that's why you need therapy, regardless. You get an extra
yeah,
little vessel there. Um, but it's just fascinating to me also how we can channel things into like death positivity in a way. Where like I like watching horror a lot, so like
yeah,
we're there to see people die and we enjoy it. It's not real.
yeah, of
Same
course,
thing when you're playing your friends in D&D. It's like I want to fuck your character up with my blood witch. So like we enjoy it, but it's also, that's also an escape from the reality of it. But it's just
exactly.
weird how we can turn it on its head and make it a positive thing in a medium versus in real life. It's definitely not something we want to happen. Um,
Yeah, like
the part of the brain. It's just weird how it can go from the fantastical version of death, where it's like, yeah, fucking, she just cut his head off, or and then if you actually see it in person, you're like, oh my god, they just cut his head off. So like, it's
yeah,
crazy how you can do that. I've always been
yeah, because like
fascinated by that.
we're all smart enough to realize it's like that's a film, dude. It's
You're right.
like if anything, you're just like that's crazy, and you're just hooked into the fucking plot
Yeah.
because you can just hit pause and just like I gotta go get popcorn or like whatever. And it's like I'm hungry now, and then you're
Yeah.
in your world. There's no
Yeah.
fucking pause button out here, man.
Yeah. And you're not in your world. You figure out there's just a world out there and you're treading it.
Yeah, turns
Um,
out machete's hurt. So like,
you only feel
don't
it
want
for a
to
few minutes till it's gone.
don't want
Um,
to come across the hockey mask. Oh,
yeah.
I see the timer now.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. It wasn't there before, and this big thing came up. It's like, you're running out of time. It's like, I'll pay for you next time. Um, so yeah, but I always just thought, because writing lyrics and stuff, I write a lot of nerdy lyrics too, because I think it's fun to like make it more like I don't know. I like to use language that's more fun sometimes, um,
Exactly.
talking
Open up
about
the thesaurus.
corridors and fucking just any way you can nerd it up and like,
You can work the word portcullis into a
yeah,
fucking.
yeah, like, yeah, come on. Or chalice, something, just anything. Um, anything about like, wizards and shit. Like, I love writing about that stuff. Um,
Definitely ad libs or
yeah,
mad
yeah.
libs rather.
It's just good. Um, talk about giant worms and shit, anything.
Yeah.
So, um, but it's crazy how we can use that to write too. Like, I can write about somebody dying or getting killed or stuff. But, for me, it comes from a lot of things I've seen, but it also comes from like emotion too, and like things that
Yeah.
have negatively affected me, but I put them in a positive channel to where it's like, it's completely fantastical. It's its own story, makes no sense almost, but it comes from real emotion. So
Yeah.
like involving death itself. So
It's a way to process that,
yeah,
and it's a way to like, in a weird way, if you get the platform, it's a way to get other people to process their traumas too.
exactly. Yeah. Because people, you know, some of the meanings that you write about are subjective. It's just a wide open canvas and it's what you wrote, but you can interpret it different ways. So I think it's good for people that are fans of the genre to be able to listen to this or read the lyrics and put it in put their own spin on it and can relate to it and be like, yeah, this I feel that, and
Yeah.
that this I feel this the story about this blood witch and I can relate it to myself, and
Oh,
or
less than a minute.
you just think it's badass. Um, but yeah, I do appreciate you opening up, taking the time to talk to me today. Really
Of
appreciate it,
course, man.
man.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course. And look forward to round two. We'll have to set that up so we can do track by track and really get the full story of the record out there.
Hell yeah. Well, subscribe to the channel and
Yes, sir.
go listen to Abhorrence.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for swinging by and take it easy.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, man. I appreciate it.